with J.J. Watt during a practice 2 weeks ago. Rossini says one source told her that's when O'Brien lost the team. The Texans are 0-4. O'Brien was fired on Monday. The Patriots canceled practice today and tomorrow after cornerback Stephon Gilmore tested positive for COVID-19. The team is scheduled to play at home against the Broncos on Sunday. ESPN's Field Yates.
It's not like you wave a magic wand or you flip one switch and everything gets back to normal overnight. Then you would be staring at the possibility of the Patriots potentially having 1 day of practice before a game.
ESPN's Dan Graziano reports 2 more Titans players have tested positive for COVID-19. That brings the team total up to 22 players and staffers. Baseball playoffs, the Braves lead the Marlins 1-0 or 2-0 in the 6th. Astros lead the A's 2-1 in the 1st.
Coming up Thursday, the Bears were the finalists for Tommy Boy Brady. Now they have to try to slow down Brady and the Bucks. We get you ready for Week 5 on Keyshawn, J. Will, Zubin, Thursday, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tom Play. Oh, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yeah. Woo.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Como, y'all.
It's hump day.
Get ready.
Hump day.
Because here comes 60 straight up your donkey.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Maybe not.
It's hump day.
But LSU makes its maiden voyage to Columbia, Missouri.
Hump day.
Saints might be headed to Indianapolis.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Get some of those answers 1 hour from right now from Robert Munson.
It's hump day.
Russ Mitchell in hour 3.
Hump day.
My goodness, glad you are hanging out with us here.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hey, Hurricane Delta.
It's hump day.
Kick rocks. Broad.
Hump day.
Can I call her a broad? Is that appropriate? Condon would call her a broad.
I don't know if Delta is because it's a Greek letter. It's not like Delta Burke. What?
How many guys you know named Delta?
None.
How many ladies you know named Delta?
One.
Bingo.
Not a huge sample size.
Doesn't matter. One is greater than none.
What was Gamma?
I don't know. It's irrelevant. We have a Delta. There's a Delta Burke.
I'm gonna find a guy named Delta.
No, you're not. Doesn't exist.
Chuck Norris, Delta Force.
Nope. Doesn't exist.
That wasn't his name.
Delta Burke. There's more Deltas, I'm telling you. There's more Deltas. All right, glad you're here with us. Lot to do over the course of the show today. Oh, as we were wrapping up the show Tuesday, the news started to break that LSU and Missouri were going to relocate their game Saturday to Columbia. That news did, in fact, become official on Wednesday, today, 9 a.m., when the SEC made that official, that LSU and Mizzou would, in fact, play in Columbia. Ed Ogeron on the SEC coaches teleconference today, too, Brain, if you would, on how this changes his weekly schedule.
You know, we're going to keep everything the same. I don't know whether we're going to leave Friday night or Thursday night. It all depends. The only thing that's different is that we're going to practice in Missouri on Friday. Have a little walkthrough. They have a little convention, have a little center, a little convention center that's 60 yards, so we can use it. That's the only thing that's going to change.
So a practice in Missouri Friday means LSU will likely leave Thursday or early Friday morning. What's clear is they want to get out of Baton Rouge before the storm hits, and we're expected to start feeling the impact of Delta sometime midday on Friday. Now, as we've seen, all of this can change over the course of 24 or 48 hours, as we've seen already twice this storm season. But let's just, first things first, let's give a degree of kudos to Scott Woodward, to Jim Sturk, the Missouri athletic director, and to Greg Sankey for getting this done in a timely manner and in an amicable fashion. If you're an LSU fan, just by nature of the fact that you're listening to this show, you probably are. You know this is not LSU's first rodeo. LSU has been down this road before. 2005, they played a home game in Arizona. They played a Monday night game against Tennessee. In 2008, we saw a 10 a.m. kickoff against Appalachian State to get that game in so that everyone could clear before Gustav arrived. 2015, of course, South Carolina played a home game in Baton Rouge. A year later was the fiasco in Gainesville. Then in 2017, remember LSU BYU were supposed to open the season in Houston, but Hurricane Harvey hit, so that game got moved to New Orleans. This isn't new. It's not new. You live in the Gulf South, you're going to deal with storms, and it's going to affect things, and it's happened again here. But what I'd like to do, if you could, to remove your emotion from this, think about what we just saw transpire in the Big Ten when they first announced their cancellation. The Big Ten announced their cancellation, and because you did not have a unified front publicly, Nebraska raised holy hell. The athletic director, president, head coach at Ohio State all publicly disagreed with the decision after it was announced. You had some schools trying to see if they could pursue a schedule to play. It was ugly. It was a mess. You had parents questioning the decision and the lack of communication. You had players looking for other places to go play. I mean, it was a mess because they did not have a unified front. And something that I have learned since that 2016 fiasco with LSU in Florida was say what you got to say behind closed doors, air your grievances, yell, scream, spit, curse, whatever you got to do. But when the doors open and you're facing the public, have a unified front, have a unified approach. In 2016, it bit an inexperienced commissioner in Greg Sankey. He got pushed around by Jeremy Foley, who was an experienced athletic director. LSU was in the right then. In 2016, LSU presented every possible alternative, every possible contingency to get that game. LSU offered to fly in the day of the game and fly out. They offered to play on Friday. They offered to play on Sunday. They offered to play on Monday. They offered to play in Baton Rouge or New Orleans or Orlando, anywhere to get the game in. And Foley time and again said, no, 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 no. And then Joe Alleva threw a hissy fit. Even though LSU did everything right, because they were not they did not have a unified front once the doors opened, LSU ended up looking like the bad guy. It was a PR disaster. This time, look at what happened. Early in the week. That was, if you remember 2016, the final decision. It happened right as we were coming on there. It was 3 o'clock on Thursday. Thursday. In this instance, they made the decision Tuesday evening. They were quick. They were decisive. They were unified. Move on. It's a crappy situation, but make the best of it that you can, and that's what they're going to do moving forward. Scott Woodward is tactful, y'all. That's the best way to describe him. Scott doesn't want to be out front. He doesn't want to be visible. He doesn't want to be loud. He wants all the attention to go to his coaches and his players, and that's fine. But Scott Woodward behind closed doors is very tactful. That's how you end up when a schedule release happens. You add Vanderbilt and Missouri. When you're willing to take this body blow, when you're willing to eat this one, the next time something comes down, you've built up goodwill and collateral. Say, hey, that whole Missouri thing, man, we gave up a home game and went up there and we didn't complain about it. Now do us a solid on this one. You build up those credits. Scott Woodward's very, very good at doing that. He did it again here, and good on him. LSU wanted to play this game. There's no question. LSU wanted to play this game Saturday. for two primary reasons. Number one, you want another game before you go to Florida. Bottom line. You want to play again. Week 1 to week 2, you got better. You need to get better, and you need to go play again before you head to Gainesville. That's one. Two, LSU and Missouri had a common open date. They could have played November the 7th in Baton Rouge. But then you give up your open date before you play Alabama, which LSU did not want to do. So at whatever cost, they wanted to play the game on Saturday. Now, some people have said, why play this game at 11 a.m. instead of 8 p.m.? Ed Ogeron addressed that today on the SEC Coaches Teleconference.
I do believe that it had been very difficult to play an 8 o'clock game and travel back and come back Sunday morning at 4 o'clock. And, it takes 2 days to recover. Talking to our trainers, it takes 2 days to recover. We play an 11 o'clock game. We're going to be back in Baton Rouge around 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I think our team and our coaches will get more rest. I think that was a big advantage for us.
You get more rest. You can be back in the building on Sunday and at practice on Monday instead of taking the entire day off on Sunday and then trying to get right on Monday to travel again to Gainesville. Yes, you have to play back-to-back-to-back road games now, but listen, the line has adjusted. It's fallen from a 20.5-point line to about 14. So it's dropped almost a touchdown. Okay, whatever. Weird circumstance. You don't really know what's going to happen. Now you got to travel instead of playing at home. Okay, whatever. You're still a heavy favorite in this ballgame, and you'd rather play it wherever you got to play it as opposed to not playing it. Now, there are negatives. Like I mentioned, it's 3 straight road weeks. That sucks. And there's a financial element here that the athletic department has to consider that most fans won't, but you're already in a year where everyone is taking a bath financially, and you only had 5 home games. Well, this likely, and I'll ask Robert Munson this when he's with us, but this is likely still going to be an LSU home game in Columbia, just like the South Carolina game in 2015 was a South Carolina home game in Baton Rouge. So after LSU was reimbursed for all their expenses for hosting the game, the net went to South Carolina. Well, you have 11,000 fans at Faurot Field. It's just not going to be a huge revenue producer for LSU playing this game in Columbia. But competitively, it's what's better for LSU. And very likely, in 2023, you're still going to go to Columbia, just like South Carolina had to come here this year, even though they were here in 2015. So there are disadvantages to it, but it's a crappy situation, and there are no good answers. There are no good solutions. You pick the best of the bad options, and you move forward. You put on your big boy pants, you go play, and that's what LSU is going to do. All right, it's after further review. If you want to react, you're welcome to join us, 499-1045, 499-1045, or toll-free 844-568-MATT, 844-568-6288. Well, let's hear more of what Ed Ogeron had to say on the SEC Coaches Teleconference today. Also, an update from the Saints as they're looking at potentially shuffling their week. We'll give you the latest when we come back. Glad to have you aboard with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org, where October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The Baton Rouge General is encouraging all women, moms, wives, aunts, sisters, all of you, make sure you have your mammogram done this month. Mammograms are still a must, even though we are in the middle of a pandemic. Do not let this slide. Make sure you're getting tested and checked. You can go to brgeneral.org to get more information. Right there on the homepage, you'll see the Protect Your Pumpkins link. You can request your mammogram. It's all right there at brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. It's one of the things that I keep reminding you. Even though the Baton Rouge General Hospital is doing incredible work protecting our community and healing our community amid a pandemic, the rest of the medical issues in our lives don't go away. People still need cancer treatments, and they're still having surgeries, and they're still having babies, and the Baton Rouge General is here for all of it. brgeneral.org.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I roll along here on a hump day edition of AFR. Robert Munson's going to be with us to start next hour. So about 42 minutes right now. LSU Senior Associate AD. He's been good enough to join us weekly during the pandemic and the lead up to the season to answer so many questions that fans have. So I appreciate the transparency. And look, we were anticipating having Robert on, and this week talking about eliminating the wellness check at walking up to Tiger Stadium and the resumption of alcohol sales. Well, now there's a hurricane coming and a game moved from Baton Rouge to Columbia. So there's that whole element to talk about as well. If you have questions for Robert, please get them in. He's happy to answer listener and fan questions. So email me, Matt at 1045ESPN.com. Tweet me at Matt Moscona or jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat. We appreciate you for being here with us. Let me catch up to date with what's going on with the New Orleans Saints. So yesterday, Larry Holder was with us. And Larry, I don't know that he was necessarily guessing, but he did mention that the Saints relocating to Indianapolis was a possibility. And that is now being reported by The Athletic and other outlets that if the New Orleans Saints do have to relocate, they'll relocate to Indianapolis to practice and potentially play Monday Night Football against the Chargers. It is worth noting this is what they did in 2008 when Hurricane Gustav came. Saints played their last preseason game at the Dome, their fourth preseason game at the Dome that year. And then with Gustav threatening, they relocated to Indianapolis, practiced, and got ready ultimately for their season opener while they were remote, and then finished this. Of course, played the season in New Orleans in 2008. So part of the reason why Indianapolis, some people say why Indianapolis, proximity of the stadium to downtown matters, and then also there's just ample hotel rooms, and it works, and you're far enough away, obviously, from the storm that you can get there. The other thing too is you're in a city with a venue that has NFL protocols already in place. For example, with LSU and Missouri, I know that was one of the pieces that the SEC mentioned was playing, instead of going to a neutral site, some people might say want to go to New Orleans, want to go somewhere in a neutral site instead of playing at Missouri. Well, you're going to a place that already has the SEC COVID protocols in place. It just makes it much cleaner and easier to just move there as opposed to a third independent venue where there's different variables maybe in place. The Colts play the Browns in Cleveland on Sunday, so the venue is available for New Orleans and the Chargers if they need to play that game on Monday Night Football at Lucas Oil Stadium. That's a possibility. Here's hoping, fingers crossed, that this storm weakens and makes landfall and doesn't affect New Orleans or Baton Rouge or any of the Louisiana coastline. But I think we all know that that feels like sort of an inevitability. But then again, with 48 hours to go, things happen. And we've already seen the storm jog westward a little bit and might continue to go westward and not affect New Orleans at all. It appears as though the Saints are going to wait until Thursday to make that decision if they need to evacuate to Indianapolis and then ride out the storm there or wait there and then make the determination if they could come back and play the game for Monday Night Football in New Orleans. It's good that they have these protocols in place. It's another travel week for New Orleans, or potentially another travel week for New Orleans, which would not be ideal. But obviously, considering that your bye week is next week, if it were going to happen, this is a good time to have it happen before your open date. So New Orleans isn't scheduled to start practicing until Thursday because it's a Monday Night Football game. So they have another day to assess before they have to make that determination. All things considered, of course, you'd love to play that game in New Orleans, but what we've seen largely throughout the course of this pandemic, home field advantage is non-existent. Hey, look at Sunday Night Football with Green Bay in New Orleans a couple of weeks ago. I know the announcers mentioned it on Sunday Night Football with Tirico and Collinsworth, and it's worth mentioning over and over again. Aaron Rodgers is in a 2-minute drill, and he's hard counting the Saints in the dome. Like, he would totally be in a silent count in those scenarios. I'm not saying that won or lost the game, but the point is the advantages, many of the advantage you would typically have with a home crowd at a place like New Orleans are eliminated because of not having a crowd. So if you're going to play it here, if you're going to play it in Indy, I'm not sure that matters materially. The biggest difference, of course, is that you'd have to travel. You'd have to bring your whole team up to Indianapolis and your whole travel staff again up to Indianapolis and travel again 1 week after going up to Detroit. You'd much rather be at home, but as we mentioned, next week is the bye week. While Sean Payton normally lets the guys go on the bye week, NFL policies are that players can't disperse. They have to stay in their soft bubble in their home city. So that I know that stinks for the players that don't get to go home or see family or go back to their college and watch their college game or whatever normally happens during bye weeks. It does make this scenario for the Saints cleaner. It is also worth noting that the mayor of New Orleans, we've been waiting on this information, Mayor Cantrell in New Orleans has denied the Saints' request to have 25% capacity for Monday Night Football against the Chargers. She will again allow the limited attendance of 750 friends or family members there, but the Saints' request for 25% capacity has been denied. I don't have many thoughts on the mayor of New Orleans. I'm not a political person. I don't even live in New Orleans. But this seems exceedingly stubborn, especially on a day where, I'm not sure if you saw this, but the governor of Florida has removed COVID restrictions and is allowing full capacity at stadiums if teams choose to do that. Florida and Louisiana, obviously they're different states, we understand that, but everyone's progressing, and it feels like in a time where everyone is allowed to progress and is wanting to progress, you have one person that is withholding progress, and that's super disappointing. I'm not sure that I here on this microphone with these cameras can pressure Mayor Cantrell any more than Drew Brees doing it on Sunday Night Football or the Saints sending a letter having Roger Goodell contact her in her office. But it's lunacy what she's doing right now. You can safely do it. We've seen it all over the NFL. We've seen it with a major college venue with LSU in Louisiana do it. You can safely distance in a stadium, and there are protocols and manners in which it can happen, and it's just stubborn and quite honestly foolish of her to not open that up to 25% capacity. The hope is now that the next home game after the bye, the Monday night or the home game against Carolina, would have 25% capacity. I don't know why you wouldn't allow it for Monday Night Football. It's frustrating and maddening and all those things that everyone knows how I feel about this already. It feels very stubborn, but it's what it is, unfortunately, when you can have one person so wholly ruin progress for everyone. But that's what the mayor of New Orleans is electing to do right now. So, whatever. All right, it's after further review. We're up to date on all I hate, like, honestly, y'all, just shooting you straight, as many years I've done this, I hate shows like this. I hate where you have to play meteorologist and, all the different factors, like the ancillary things that go in. I mean, I'd much rather be talking about the games. I'd much rather be talking about the Saints offensive line and if James Hurst is going to fill in, is Ramczyk going to be there, and how that's going to factor. Is Drew Brees finally in stride with guys like Emmanuel Sanders, is Traquan Smith continuing his emergence? And I would love it if we were doing more of that today and talking about LSU getting ready for Missouri to play this game and the progression of the offense and the defensive improvements and how they match. And, Missouri's going to start a new quarterback with Connor Bazelak this week. But stories like this sometimes just take precedent when you have this wholesale change, and so that's part of what we have to discuss today. All right, let me knock out a break. We'll come back. We'll go around the SEC. Taylor Calandro Bourbon Dictionary about 15 minutes from right now as well. Robert Munson in 34 minutes, LSU Senior Associate AD. Russ Mitchell in hour 3. We will preview the entire slate of the SEC week. This is week 7, technically, that we're into now. It's week 3 for the conference. Week 7 of college football. I know it's so weird. Anyway, we'll knock out a quick break. Much more to come, and glad you're with us here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery. So this Saturday, Clegg's was set to host the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree at the Segan Lane location. That has been postponed, as you might imagine. Of course, we're expecting Hurricane Delta to come through Friday and into Saturday and feel the effects. So here's hoping it doesn't, and it's a beautiful day. Now, weather permitting, Clegg's will be open this weekend, weather permitting, but the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree, however, has been postponed. So keep that in mind if you're planning on attending. We'll let you know about any reschedule for the event at a later date. But in the meantime, you can get by Clegg's Nursery if you need supplies. Of course, they got duct tape and hammers and nails and floodlights and flashlights and batteries and all the things that you get at a hardware store. Gas cans. If you're stocking up on those supplies you can't find elsewhere, you're trying to avoid the big box store, get to Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
We will go around the SEC here in just a quick second. I wanted to point something out. This was brought to my attention today. On Saturday, our dear friend Darren Ravel, who sucks, tweeted, "Expect the Southeastern Conference to hit Georgia with a huge fine next week for this crowd. Schools must have figured it was worth taking a risk." And he has a video of what looks like the Georgia student section not socially distanced, and many of them there in the front not wearing masks. That's Darren Ravel. Something that I'd like to point out, and maybe Darren Ravel just wants attention, so maybe I'm giving him what he wants here, but what I'm going to do actually is use this as an opportunity to shame him and point out yet again why he sucks and why people who don't cover the sport need to shut their mouths, and also why you, as a consumer, need to be aware of who you can trust and who not to trust. You see, what Darren Ravel did in tweeting that is prove his ignorance. The SEC has made it known early and throughout their communications that they are not regulating attendance at any SEC events. The SEC, their policy officially, is they are leaving attendance up to each state and local government to make those determinations. If it's no crowd or 15% or 20% or whatever the case may be. There are no fines from the SEC to individual schools for their attendance. So first things first for Darren Ravel, who clearly, again, showed his ignorance and his unwillingness to actually pay attention to what is reality. What's more is that the University of Georgia actually did appropriately socially distance their crowd. There are many fans who abided by the rules, who wore masks, and quite honestly, you're talking about a crowd that was properly socially distanced on Saturday in Sanford Stadium. There was a very small number of their student section that congregated, and that's what was on the video that he saw. The wide shots of Sanford Stadium showed exactly what we all knew, which was that they did appropriately socially distance. And the thing that Georgia did, which I think is a really good idea that many have done, is they put up the red chair back seats to indicate where fans could sit or could not sit, and they had them appropriately distanced in rows throughout Sanford Stadium. It was actually really well done and really well thought out. And yet again, Darren Ravel is a doofus who is out there as a Chicken Little trying to scream and make all of us not go on living our lives in any way, shape, or form because he's a dope face, essentially. But because we all live in the South, we're not as smart, and we're just a bunch of hicks who won our foosball, and COVID be damned and life and limb be damned. Y'all, and maybe I'm giving him exactly what he wants by talking about this, but just let it be known that Darren Rovell is a moron. He's a moron. He's entrenched himself, like much of the other national elitist media has entrenched themselves into their point of view, and all they're doing is finding ways to highlight that in short clips to assert their viewpoint, when in actuality, if you're actually taking the stance that I am and pointing out their lunacy, you can see their hypocrisy, their agenda on display, and why I will continue to call out people like Darren Rovell throughout this entire process. Guy's got 1 million followers. It's unfortunate. You know what I'm talking about? Sheep and lemmings? Like the people just aimlessly follow and run off a cliff? You know how many people, if you go look at Darren Rovell's tweet and look at the comments under it, it's all the lemmings that are following. Oh, look at dumb Southerners. They don't care. Oh, they're good at football, but they're not very smart. It's all it is regional bias. Every single, just regional bias, one after another. It is not okay, y'all. This was my whole point with my rant about the Big Ten. It is not okay. It is not okay to stereotype people based on race, based on religion or gender or creed or culture or geography. But Darren Rovell continues to do it, and he's a moron. He needs to be called out, and I wish all of you would do it as well. So after further review, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Ole Miss Rebels.
So we already know that LSU and Mizzou has been moved because of Hurricane Delta. The SEC is currently looking into alternative dates for the Alabama-Ole Miss game, scheduled to be played Saturday in Oxford. Lane Kiffin confirmed that on Wednesday morning. Apparently they have 3 alternative dates. They're looking at possibly playing the game Friday, Sunday, or later in the season. Playing on Saturday still remains a possibility.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
A Hurricane Delta could also impact Arkansas's trip to the Plains to take on Auburn. Sam Pittman, Wednesday on the SEC Coaches Teleconference, though, said there has been no discussion as of now between Arkansas and Auburn about a possible cancellation or postponement. Arkansas has been working, however, with wet balls in practice to help simulate what it could be like at Jordan-Hare Saturday.
The Auburn Tigers.
Speaking of that game, a pair of starters on the Auburn offensive side of the ball are questionable heading into the game against Arkansas. Redshirt senior wide receiver Eli Stove and junior running back Sean Shivers, both dealing with undisclosed injuries. Shivers started the season opener at running back and then did not play in the loss to Georgia last week. Stove played in the first quarter against Georgia, left the field early with injury, did not return. Auburn and Arkansas kick off at 3 o'clock Saturday.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And Georgia grad transfer tight end Trey McKitty is expected to make his debut for the Bulldogs on Saturday. 6'5", 245-pounder, had an arthroscopic procedure after a knee injury in early September. Bulldogs played number 14 Tennessee Saturday at Sanford Stadium. Couple of other injuries. A tailback James Cook, he's day-to-day with a shoulder injury. And outside linebacker Jermaine Johnson, probable after not playing against Auburn as a precautionary measure. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOPnet.com. GCOPnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, North Shore, Lafayette, offices all over. They can get to you quicker. Same-day service at the absolute latest next day at 10 a.m. It's Gulf Coast Office Products. GCOPnet.com. GCOPnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Saints, of course, play the Chargers on Monday Night Football, scheduled for the Dome. That is a little bit in flux, as we've talked about. Tom Pelissero of NFL Network just tweeting here a moment ago. Of course, we know that Austin Eckler, the running back for the Chargers, is lost for 4 to 6 weeks, so the Chargers will play the Saints without Eckler. They're looking at running backs. Pelissero tweeting, a former Dolphins and Jets running back, Kalen Ballage, is visiting the Chargers. So looking for some depth at that position with Austin Eckler out. We'll see. It's certainly a major advantage for New Orleans that you got a rookie quarterback in Justin Herbert, who, although he had a really good day against Tampa, that offense struggled their first 2 outings with Herbert. He was scoring 20 and 19 points, respectively, putting up over 30 this past week, but struggling the first 2 outings, and now you're without your best running back. it is an advantage for New Orleans. You never want to see anybody get hurt, but look, New Orleans has been living that life without Mike Thomas now for 3 weeks. That could be changing if the Saints get Thomas back healthy and the Chargers come in a little banged up. All right, it's after further review. Remind you about GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Since the beginning of the year, in 9 months, GMFS Mortgage has done $3 billion in mortgages. Incredible. We are in a moment in time, y'all. A moment in time, and it's because of COVID, and you hate that it happened that way. But this moment in time has interest rates at historic low levels. They've never been lower. If your rate is above a 4, you have got to get in touch with a local loan officer at GMFS Mortgage. If you're not sure, if it's been that long since you shopped, you got to get in touch with GMFS Mortgage. I mean, we're hearing cases of people lowering their interest rate by 1.5 points, skipping 2 mortgage payments. Change your life. Lower your monthly mortgage payment. Maybe skip a payment or 2 when you go through closing. Change your financial life today. GMFS Mortgage. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage. Changing lives. All right, y'all. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. A couple of programming notes. And Brain, grab that sheet if you would, so we know, so you can make sure that I'm correct on all this. A lot of high school football in the area has changed from the weekend. A lot of games are being played today. So tonight is Catholic and Carr, correct?
Yes.
All right, so we go off air. Do we have game time with Jimmy Ott until the start of the game?
That I don't know. I can find out for you, though.
Okay, so, but Catholic and Carr is tonight, 7 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. Then what's the rest of the programming switch?
We've got Sunday, Chiefs versus Raiders at noon, Cowboys, Giants at 3:25, and then Vikings, Seahawks at 7:20. And then Monday still listed as Saints and Chargers. It's just a matter of where.
No, but I'm talking about the rest of this week, like Thursday and Friday.
On this station?
Yes.
I don't think any.
Station. Yeah, well, Catholic's usually on Friday night. And then Louisiana Prep scoreboard is usually Friday night as well, and that's moved.
Yeah, it's not on the sheet as to what's going to fill in
all right,
instead.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get the rest. We'll get the rest of it. But Catholic and Carr tonight at 7 o'clock right here if you're in Baton Rouge on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Let me knock out a quick break. Taylor Calandro, Bourbon Dictionary next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Premier South Roofing and PremierSouthLA.com. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, North Shore, Lake Charles, and online PremierSouthLA.com. Hurricane Delta's in the Gulf. Of course, nobody wants to think about this, but if we have high winds, if we have heavy rain, if we have this major event, of course, there can be damage to your roof. If there is, make sure you call Premier South Roofing. If you're in the Lake Charles area or parts that were affected by Laura, call Premier South Roofing. We all know the drill. There are always, always, always companies that are storm chasers. They follow the storms. They know where the work is. They come in, they do work, they get a quick check, and they leave. But the leave is the problem. What if the work they do is shoddy? What if it doesn't hold up? What if in a month from now you have an issue? They're gone. That's why you should always trust a licensed contractor who's here. That's Premier South Roofing. PremierSouthLA.com. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Lake Charles, Premier South Roofing.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a RAV4 for $3,000 off MSRP. That's right, $3,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Flucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Flucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
Whiskey Wednesday. Why wouldn't we take a few minutes out to chat with our buddy Taylor Calandro, talk some brown water, especially with a hurricane in the Gulf, prepping for your storm parties. I hate to say that. You know what, Taylor, when I was in college, we did a lot of hurricane parties. It feels kind of juvenile now. Do you agree?
Well, yeah, because you have responsibilities now.
I know. But I still see adults. I still see adults like, hey, hurricane party, hurricane party. I'm like, what I really need is like diapers. I was telling you, like, I need diapers and baby wipes and batteries and make sure that we're good, you know?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how bad it is, I don't know how many parties are going to be going on.
No doubt. So we always get questions. If you got questions for Taylor, he's a wine and spirits director over at Calandro's, here essentially to answer your booze questions. So if they're bourbon related or not, fire away. Ed Check said, hey, Taylor, which brands are a good representative paradigms of the various flavor profiles of bourbon? It's an interestingly worded question.
Yeah. That's,
how about this? Give me three that are equal price point but a variety of taste.
I would say we're talking about the same brand.
No, not the same brand. I think he's saying different brands. Doesn't have to all be under the same umbrella, but just three different things that represent the various profiles.
Oh man, that is such a weird question.
Here's what I would say. I would say affordably, like under $50. I would say, of course, I'm partial, but Sazerac rye is a great rye. It's $25, $27. Rye tends to be spicy. I would always throw in Elijah Craig, which is a very full-bodied bourbon, which I know you love as well, right in that $27, $30 range. And then I would probably throw out something like Basil Hayden, which is a little milder and is a bourbon that I think is in stark contrast with the flavor profile to what you have from Elijah Craig.
Yeah, and I wouldn't argue with any of those picks. I'd throw a wheated bourbon in there, just for the opposite end of the spectrum from just a regular full-flavored big corn bourbon, basically.
What wheated bourbon would you recommend that you can actually find? Like, I'm not talking like the Wellers, of course, are great, but they're so hard to find.
Man, That is a tough question. Well, I mean, right now we've got Jefferson's Ocean weeded. We have a barrel, but
which is delicious, by the way.
Yeah, this Jefferson's Ocean's barrel we just did is unbelievable. I drank it on air with Jay Ducote last week. He was doing a show from the store, and I hadn't tried it since we picked it. I don't even know how long ago that was, and it was outstanding. It's really, really good.
My feeling on Jefferson's Ocean. I think largely you're paying for a novelty. It's good. I just don't like it. But the weeded is fantastic. What's it, $80? It's somewhere around there. Like that's one I would tell you. The Jefferson's Ocean weeded. I would say I would spend $80 on that. It's magnificent.
Yeah, and this barrel in particular, I just don't remember our other weeded barrels being this good. I don't know. Maybe just because it's so fresh, and I just tried it. I don't know, but it's really good.
Eric Hart said, "What bourbon tastes best while riding out an October hurricane in South Louisiana?"
Oh, I was gonna tell him Jefferson's Ocean's weeded. Actually,
there you go.
I wasn't expecting to talk about it beforehand. Yeah. Something expensive.
Speaking of weeded, Craig Dugas said, "Why is Old Elk weeded so delicious?"
Man, I don't know. He must like softer bourbons, but I mean that Old Elk weeded. You've tried different iterations of it.
Yeah,
picking a barrel with us, and it's done really well.
So they had a weeded. What's the difference between a weeded bourbon and a weeded whiskey? Because we tried both. Remember?
They've probably got other things in there besides the majority corn, as the bourbon would.
Mm-hmm.
Other filler grains.
Kyle Champagne said, Taylor, how many Pappies are equivalent to one bottle of Blanton's for trade reference?
What? That's such a what? I don't even like. Blanton should be the one that you're adding up bottles to achieve a Pappy, not the other way around.
I think that's what he's saying. Oh God, no! He said how many Pappies, one bottle of Blanton's? Oh my God.
0.
Yeah.
None. Yeah. Not even like a sip.
I'd flip it around. How many bottles of Blanton's would you trade for one? Let's call it the Rip 10.
Oh man, I would take my 6 bottles of Blanton's and bring them back to my house and drink them.
Okay.
I would not trade Blanton's, especially for Old Rip 10.
Why?
It's just not worth it to me. I don't know. I think Old Rip 10 is severely overrated.
Okay. Sam Nacello said, "You got any Weller 12?"
No, in the raffle.
Steve Menard, best toasted barrel: Elijah Craig toasted, Old Forester 1910, or the Woodford Double Oaked?
Ooh. I tried the Elijah Toasted straight out the gate a few weeks ago. Wasn't a big fan, and I've revisited the bottle since it's been open for a couple weeks, and it's growing on me. I'd probably go with the Elijah Craig.
I just jumped in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat, and Theodore said, "Hey, Calandros keeps the tin roof on deck. My last resort when I can't find any good seasonals." Is he talking about? I'm guessing seasonal beer. I know you're a beer guy as well.
Oh, absolutely. So what's the question?
What seasonals? Does Tin Roof have seasonals? What's he talking about?
I don't know. Right now I've got the Santeria from Tin Roof, the double IPA. And that's their newest release as far as I know. And I have some in stock right now. It's a decent beer.
Are there any seasonal beers that are in right now that you've had and enjoy that you'd recommend for people?
People are going to laugh at me for this. And I think I just got some, man. It should be coming in this week, or we got some last week. I can't remember. Shiner Cheer. Shinerbach Cheer.
Okay.
It's a peach amber or something. I don't even know what style it is, but I enjoy it a lot. I'm gonna get so much hate for that.
Why?
But,
Why would you get hate for that?
Just because beer nerds, man. It's the same as whiskey nerds. If I would tell you that I really enjoyed drinking Crown and Diet, it's kind of like the same thing.
So Shiner would be like Crown and Diet?
To a beer nerd, yeah.
Oh. See, I say find what you like and enjoy it. I mean,
that's the point I'm at in my life too, Matt.
Yeah.
And it takes a little while for most people to get to that point, but I'm to the point now where if it tastes good, I'm going to drink it. I don't even care what it is.
Hey man, if people want a like just a cold Bud Light and that's what makes you go round, by all means, do you. I'm happy about that. I know there's a huge bourbon culture and a lot of them listen to this show, and so I enjoy doing this segment. Hey, one more. Joseph Clement said we're under a minute, 20 seconds. Does Calandro sell sake?
Yes, we have tons of sake. Tons of sake.
Can you
probably have more sake than anybody in town?
If I want to try sake for the first time, which one should I try?
I would just go for Geeky Con, just the regular, normal, run-of-the-mill sake, and then we've got a whole bunch of other stuff after that.
Taylor Calandro, Wine Spirits Director over at Calandro's Perkins near Seagan and Mid-City right there on Government Street. Thanks, man. Be safe out there, all right?
All right, man. You too.
All right, man. We'll see you. This is After Further Review. Robert Munson, LSU Senior Associate AD. What's going on with the LSU-Missouri game? All the info next.
AFR.
Love telling you about the Williamson Eye Center, WilliamsonEye.com. They have changed so many people's lives by giving them the gift of sight. You could be next. 2 years ago, had my LASIK done. But a month ago, both Jimmy Ott and Ben Mintz had their procedures done at the Williamson Eye Center. Jimmy had a lens replacement. Mintz had some like PRK procedure. I'm not even sure what that is. My point is, whether you're young or old, nearsighted, farsighted, whatever your issue may be, there is a refractive procedure at Williamson that can help you see without glasses or contacts. My dad had RK in the early 1990s, so he wasn't a candidate for LASIK, but he still had a lens procedure done at Williamson in the last year. My 80-year-old grandmother was over at Williamson. They're helping her also. Again, no matter what your refractive issue is, if you want to give yourself the gift of sight, the Williamson Eye Center can make it happen. Go for your free consultation. 924-2020, 924-2020.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up! Roof's up!
Roof's up!
Roof's up?
Roof's up!
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a Tundra for $7,000 off MSRP. That's right, $7,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Hand Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. More positive COVID-19 tests around the NFL today. The Titans with 2 more players positive, bringing their total outbreak to 22 players and staffers. Patriots corner and reigning Defensive Player of the Year Stephon Gilmore test positive, along with Raiders defensive lineman Maurice Hurst. ESPN's Dan Graziano says the NFL is talking about contingencies for the rest of the season.
There's been some talk about this sort of establishing a Week 18 where any rescheduled games could kind of be dumped into at the end of the season and then pushing the playoffs back a week, maybe even taking out the bye week between the conference championship games and the Super Bowl.
Dan Graziano on Get Up. The Washington football team will have Kyle Allen at quarterback for Sunday's game against the Rams. He'll take over for the struggling Dwayne Haskins. Baseball playoffs today. All games available on ESPN Radio. 9th inning, the Braves lead the Marlins 2-0. And in the 5th inning, the A's lead the Astros 4-2. After almost 15 years with the team, Reds president Dick Williams resigns today.
Coming up Thursday, the Bears were the finalists for Tommy Boy Brady. Now they have to try to slow down Brady and the Bucks. We get you ready for Week 5 on Keyshawn, J. Will, Zubin, Thursday, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the Brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tomplet. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Russ Mitchell next hour. We will preview the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference, which is still in flux. And we know part of which will include LSU and Missouri now playing in Columbia. LSU Senior Associate AD Robert Munson, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes, as he has the past few weeks building up here to the season in 2020 to answer a lot of questions that you may have. Robert, thanks as always, man. How are you?
Doing just fine, man. It's been an interesting couple of days for all of us.
How did LSU and Missouri come to that decision so quickly to move the game from Baton Rouge to Columbia?
Yeah, it was pretty quick. I mean, obviously, we saw the storm coming in really around Saturday, Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, what you do is you just kind of pick up the phone and you see what your options are, not knowing exactly what all the parameters are going to be and what that storm may end up doing at the time. But you essentially start whittling it down. You know, where can you play? What are those options in those locations? And as we went through that process, it became very clear that in the end, the COVID-19 protocols that exist within our stadiums in the SEC were going to really take the priority over convenience, over what we may or may not have wanted. And Missouri was extremely accommodating to us to make this happen. And the SEC, as they have been a great partner in that decision.
What were the other options?
Well, you look, obviously, with the storm and the direction that it's going, we looked west. We looked Houston. We looked Dallas. Shreveport was great. They really reached out to us and wanted to bend over backward to accommodate. Mayor Perkins up there made personal contact down here to see if they could make it happen. In the end, because of COVID-19 protocols, that just couldn't happen, but they were very accommodating.
Why not just wait another day or two to see if the storm continued a westward track and then you're able to have it in Baton Rouge?
Well, exactly why is because of what we're seeing right now. The storm is sped up. Instead of leaving Friday, we're now leaving Thursday. So decisions needed to be made quickly because there are so many unknowns and we wanted to give ourselves time to adjust. Turns out that was a smart decision.
What about potentially playing on the open date? Just running through all the scenarios that have been discussed.
Yeah,
a common open date. Why not move it to November?
In the end, we want to play football on Saturday. And it's important for our team to continue progressing as they are. And it was important for us and for football that we play this game on Saturday. We also want to use the open date for where it is. It's a good time for rest and recovery.
And obviously the opponent after the open date does warrant such rest and recovery. I'll say it if you won't. Also, a game moved from 8 p.m. to 11 a.m. Robert, this is a question a lot of people are wondering. Since you had a TV window, it was going to be a night game. Why move it to 11 a.m.? And was that the league's decision?
No, that was a mutual decision amongst all of us. And at the time and still right now, really consider that earlier time slot was critical for travel. One thing we didn't want to do is have our team and coaches in a traveling situation at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning if there's a storm anywhere near the area. So trying to get in and get back as quickly as we can, give our players a full day Sunday to rest, relax, and recover, and hopefully to do all that safely. Now, this storm is going to dictate the travel, as it always does, and that may have to change in terms of when we come back. But at the moment, again, looks like a smart decision to move that game early.
Can we go through Robert Munson's our guest, can we go through just some of the logistics for the weekend then based on that schedule? So the team will leave on Thursday. At what time?
Don't know yet. They're still working on the time. So logistics are still very much in flux at this point.
Okay. Can you walk me through and by the way, for everyone who does post-game, thank you very much for moving the game to 11 a.m.
Because I've gotten a few texts with quite a few thank yous from you guys. So you're welcome, I guess.
You will never find media ever complain about an 11 a.m. or 2:30 kickoff ever.
Listen, that 8 o'clock time slot is rough. It's rough for everybody. So yeah, I guess it's one of the benefits of this.
I know. No fan cares at all about the job we have to do, but just trust me when I tell you, it sucks when there's like super late games. Okay, so Saturday though, if it had stayed at 8, so the game would have ended at let's call it 11:30, barring there isn't a 7 overtime fiasco. But let's say 11:30. What would the travel have been like then for the team?
So I may have misunderstood your question, but with an 11 o'clock start, we'll get our team back at early evening, hopefully. Again, the storm itself is going to make that decision, and we have aviation consultants who help us, who make those decisions from a safety standpoint. So we'll see, but if all goes well, we'll be able to get our student athletes back here by early evening, probably eat dinner at home.
So if the game had stayed at 8, you would have been talking about leave. If the game would have ended at 11:30, you wouldn't have left Columbia until 2, 3.
We probably would not have gotten home until that 3:30, 4 o'clock type time frame. So it's a rough day, and it's particularly for the student athletes that getting home that late, not having a full day to recover. It does take some time to get back, and then for guys my age, it takes even longer.
I understand. A couple of more. Robert Munson, I guess. And you have questions for Robert, you can get them in. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. You can tweet me at Matt Moscona at 1045 ESPN. We'll get to some of these here in just a quick second. I also did want to talk about a couple of the announcements you all made earlier in the week, namely the CDC wellness checks are going away at the gate, and then the decision to sell alcohol again in Tiger Stadium. Let's start with the CDC wellness checks. Can you walk through why that decision was made?
Early on when we were planning all of our protocols, we wanted to do a few things that are very proactive. One of those was this CDC wellness check. It's not in the requirements of anything from the SEC or the university. It was something we wanted to do as an added level of really reminder to our fans of why they should or should not come to our events. And we hoped to create a streamlined process with that. But what we noticed at the gates was it was really, really cumbersome. For people who even took the test before they came to the university, it was difficult with a combination of digital tickets on their app and the CDC and trying to show both to the ticket taker. And if you happen to have multiple people in your party, all those things are still on your phone. So you're switching through different tickets, then switching through CDC apps. And it just became cumbersome and was creating at least the potential for the very thing we try to avoid in these situations, and that's a choke point. It's the reason why we added a dozen new gates, spread things out, was to mitigate the possibility of having long lines and choke points, which with COVID-19 protocols as one of those top priorities.
And then so no CDC well checks. What's the feedback that you've gotten from that? There's obviously been some national media pundits who have taken the opportunity to stump for whatever they want. But what has been some of the feedback you've gotten from fans or outside?
Well, you know, we get data from every one of our games that we pour over on Mondays and Tuesdays, and we did get a lot of feedback from our fans. And that's who we're listening to. That's who we want to hear from. And a lot of our fans told us, look, we couldn't get to work. We couldn't find it at the gate. We didn't really know what it was for. So we have a lot of feedback that kind of concurred with what we monitored and what we saw. And listen, there's going to be some national attention with whatever we do. We're LSU. We understand that. And not everybody's going to agree with what we do. But again, this was a proactive approach. This wasn't a requirement. It is a self-assessment. It is voluntary. It's sort of on the honor code. So you get a lot of that, right? People saying, well, you could just answer whatever you want to get into the gate.
Yep.
And that's true, but pretty much everything we do these days is on the honor code. So that's no different than any other function.
If people were going to drag their ass out of their house, drive to the stadium, park, walk to the gate, they're not going to let a wellness check on a screen stop them. You don't have to. I know you don't have to answer that. That's my opining. But yes, I agree with you. Alcohol.
Well, and
yeah, go ahead.
You know, one of the things with that wellness check is it's not required, but we still encourage people to do it, to think about it, to check it. We do it every day at work, and it is a good reminder of, hey, I woke up this morning, I did have a little tickle in my throat, and I have a little bit of a fever. Maybe I should stay home. So listen, for people who want to be responsible in that way, it can be helpful, and we do encourage our fans to keep using it, even if it isn't required at the gate.
The thing that you said maybe the first time we started doing this is the right approach, which is appealing to the human nature of someone, which is, if you're sick, if you're at risk, stay home. Don't put yourself for other people. Just that's the best. It's not the wellness check screen. It's just do the right thing for yourself and for everyone around you. And I think that is the right approach. A couple more minutes, and there are some listener questions, so I want to make sure I don't take up too much of your time. The decision to resume alcohol sales.
Yeah, that was a function of the adjustment to the governor's order, the Phase 3 order, allowing that specifically in stadiums. So we, clearly took advantage of that quickly and got on and plan on bringing beer and wine back. But that, again, was a function of our coordination with the state and understanding what they're permitting and not permitting.
Okay. And the expectation is that the alcohol sales will stay for the remainder of the season?
That's the expectation.
Okay.
Then again, the expectation was we were going to be playing in Tiger Stadium on Saturday. So we're all kind of adjusting as we go.
Okay, a couple of listener questions. A lot of people asking about when we'll know a TV network for Saturday.
Yeah, I think pretty soon. Obviously, there have been some changes with the time slot and everything. It'll be on the ESPN family. I'm just not exactly sure where that will be, but we'll find out very soon.
Do you know if it'll be a linear network, or is it might?
I don't at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. People asking about piped-in noise at the Vandy game as well. Thoughts on that and how that went and what to expect in visiting stadiums?
So piped-in noise is permitted now by the SEC to a certain decibel level. It has to be between 70 and 75 decibels. And we're given tracks. So we have the similar tracks in terms of the fan noise and different chants that we can use. We actually tested it at Tiger Stadium in our last home game. We ended up turning it off. It just didn't work particularly well for our venue, but it is permitted, and we should definitely expect hearing it and seeing it at different venues. Okay.
Todd Jones, any talks regarding baseball or basketball schedules?
Yeah, lots of talks. Those are at the forefront of our conversations, and we're gonna get to those sooner rather than later. And it's amazing. I mean, basketball is right around the corner, right? So we're on it. We'll be announcing some things hopefully very soon, and lots of conversations, no doubt.
One more I forgot to get to. Financial implications. Actually, I have two more. Financial implications of moving the game from Baton Rouge to Columbia. Is this still an LSU home game?
Yeah, there's some conversation about that. We're kind of going back and forth. And when I say we, I mean internally, about what the expectation is there. We haven't landed on anything quite yet, whether it's a home game or we're going to be the visitors. Missouri's been extremely accommodating for us up there. They're going to play our fight song and do some other things that'll be familiar to our players. So it'll feel as much like a home game as it can in Missouri. And then the financial implications questions, we won't know that for a bit. We have insurance on these things that, hopefully will cover some stuff, but we're working through that. There's no question we wanted to have the game here for all kinds of reasons, and financial reasons is one of those too.
The 2023 game, that stays as scheduled in Columbia?
As far as I know, this will have no impact on the 2023 schedule.
Okay.
This is this year is an animal unto its own, and it's hopefully we don't experience it again, but it's kind of an isolated thing.
Robert Munson, LSU Senior Associate AD, as always, appreciate the time and the info. Have a great rest of the day, man. Y'all stay safe.
Okay, you too. Bye.
All right. It is After Further Review. Glad you're with us. We appreciate Robert for doing that. I'm for transparency. I am for letting people and talking to your fans and talking to the consumer and letting people know where you stand and why decisions are made. I think transparency breeds confidence, and I'm very, very grateful for Robert for willing to do that and the athletic department for allowing him and to answer all your questions. So thanks to him and to all of you who listen and participate. All right, it's After Further Review. Quick break. NFL, more positive tests. Could they be headed toward a bubble? I have some thoughts on that. Stick around, AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. Agent225.com. If you're thinking of selling your home, call Darren James and get your home sold. Remember, working with Darren obligates you to nothing. If at any point you're not thrilled with the job Darren's doing, let you out of the contract. Free and clear. No questions asked. But you won't. Also remember, in Baton Rouge, if you're thinking about doing the for sale by owner thing, 73%, nearly 3 out of 4 people that list their home for sale by owner end up hiring a realtor. Maybe they don't properly price their home. Maybe they just aren't available for showings at all times. Whatever the case may be, save yourself the time, save yourself the money, the hassle, the frustration. Call Darren James and get your home sold. Call the realtor that sells more homes than anyone. 335-7666. 335-7666. Think real estate? Think Darren James.
Do you know someone who sets a good example for all of us to follow? Someone who shows leadership, selflessness, and service to their community without being asked? We think that's the definition of a good citizen, and so does Citizens Bank and Trust. If you know someone who exhibits all of these qualifications, nominate them for a Good Citizen Award, and they could receive $500 from Citizens Bank. And we'll recognize them here on the show. Get the details at citizensbankandtrust.com, and then nominate your good citizen.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
There is a great video that I saw today of Joe Burrow, who was mic'd up against Jacksonville on Sunday. You can go to my Twitter and see the video, but the best part, he picks up something on the ground and he goes to Jacksonville and he says this.
This yours? No?
I spent a year in Indiana, and one of the first things that you conform to if you leave the South, in many instances, go to the Midwest, is y'all. It's foreign there. It's just not something that's accepted as part of the vernacular. So I think over the year that I was there, my y'all evolved into a plural you. I refuse to say you guys or yous guys or you guyses or any of that nonsense. I think I just use the plural version of you. Are you coming? Hey, are you coming? Like that. I hope Joe Burrow keeps the y'all forever. I mean, think about how short a time of his life. And similarly, I would imagine if you're from the Midwest and you come here, look at Joe Burrow. He's from the Midwest. He comes to Louisiana. I would be willing to bet dollars to donuts that Joe Burrow in June of 2018 came to Baton Rouge and said, you guys. I would bet you anything. And he evolved into y'all. You just do what's socially accepted, right? It works both ways. I hope he keeps y'all. I hope he keeps it. In that video, he says y'all a couple of times, and I hope he keeps it for play it again. Brady, he's like, he picks up this, it looks like maybe like a ring or something. Maybe someone had like a ponytail in, or to hold their hair back like a band, or maybe a band that someone was wearing around their wrist. And he goes and picks it up behind the huddle. He's looking at Jacksonville. He's like, hey, is this y'all's?
This yours? No?
It's not even yours. He pluralizes y'all. It's y'all's? Hey, y'all's? This y'all's? It's yours? Anybody? It's yours? Nope. Y'all's. Joey B. BDJ dropping y'all's on him during a mic'd up segment.
And the whole point of that video, or everybody, like a lot of the folks that retweeted that, were just making fun of the way he slides.
Yeah. The ref even came up to him and was like, hey, man, you're going to slide. You need to get down. Like, don't leave any doubt. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm learning my lesson. And you are. He's like, he even asked me, like, you saw me get hit last week? They're like, yeah, we saw it. Although that wasn't on a slide. That was just eating it while he delivered a pass. Good on him for doing it. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're with us. Russ Mitchell, about an hour from right now, a little less than an hour from right now. We'll recap the last weekend, preview the weekend ahead in the Southeastern Conference. Let's hear much more from Ed Ogeron, who met with the media earlier today. And we are keeping an eye on the New Orleans Saints, although it seems as though we're not really going to get an answer regarding the Saints and what their plans are going to be until tomorrow. They're going to wait another day to see what the storm does. And if it keeps shifting westward, I mean, odds are they'll stay. But if it continues on its current path, New Orleans is in the cone, there's more of a possibility New Orleans may jet and head up to Indianapolis. So we know there's been a COVID outbreak among the Tennessee Titans. You know, Cam Newton tested positive, had to miss this week's game, and now Stephon Gilmore has tested positive. I saw just a moment ago, Diana Rossini of ESPN tweeted that a member of the Raiders has tested positive as well. And that has led many of the Chicken Littles to run and scream with their heads cut off that the sky is falling. Cancel the season. It's all going to hell. So typical. Like, have they not learned their lesson at all through all of this? I mean, do you remember where we were when COVID first happened and Kirk Herbstreit was saying, I can't see anywhere there's football at all this year? Remember that? And make your way all the way through, and then basketball comes back, and baseball comes back, and hockey comes back, and horse racing comes back, and MLS comes back, and MMA and boxing, and everything comes back. And you still had Chicken Littles in the Big Ten and other places that pulled the plug. And now they're all back again. And they still haven't learned their lesson. They still haven't learned. Like, I don't know what it's going to take, but they have not learned their lesson. Through 4 weeks in the NFL, keep this in perspective, okay? This is the systematic difference between the Chicken Littles and the doers. Through 4 weeks, the Chicken Littles going, oh my God, Tennessee had positive tests. Oh my God, Cam Newton, what are you going to do? And one of them is Mike Florio. Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk is one of the Chicken Littles, and he has a column up right now at Pro Football Talk. And the headline reads, a soft bubble was doomed to fail in the NFL. And he writes why the NFL needs to go to a bubble if they want to save their season. And I am telling Mike Florio, hey, Mike, R-E-L-A-X. Relax. Aaron Rodgers told you to do it years ago. Take the advice again right now. Pour a cocktail, man. Sit in the corner and breathe a little bit. You can choose to focus on Tennessee's positive tests or Cam Newton or you could look at the fact that through 4 weeks in the NFL, 4 weeks, you've had 2 games altered. Every other game has gone off fine. You've had 2 games altered, and one was played the next day. In this piece by Mike Florio, he writes, it was inevitable that those 170 people per team eventually would, while away from the facility, get exposed to the virus. Thank you! Thank you! Yay, Mike! That a boy! Yes, Mike, it is an inevitability that you're going to have positive tests, that people are going to come in contact with the virus, that some people are going to have to test positive and sit on the sideline for a week or so because dope faces like you can't get over the fact that healthy young people are not affected by this virus. And there's still a lot of question as to whether or not asymptomatic people can even transmit this virus. But, Mike, because we have to appease the Chicken Littles and the dope faces like you, those people still sit on the sideline. We have these absurd protocols where grown men who are bleeding, spitting, sweating all over each other on a field walk to a sideline and then socially distance and put masks on. We're socially distancing the locker room, but as soon as they go out on the field, it doesn't matter anymore. I digress. Some of you Chicken Littles cried in Major League Baseball when the Marlins had their outbreak. Remember that? How can they possibly cancel the season? It's the doomsday scenario. The Marlins have positive on COVID tests. Major League Baseball's in their postseason now, right? They're good? They're going to finish the season? Yep. Cool. Same thing you dope faces feared with college. Look at all the games ULL was going to play against Appalachian State and Notre Dame. And what do we got on top? Had like 50 games last weekend. Still rolling on, right? We're good? Everybody? Isn't that why when they made the schedule, they built in buffers for this exact inevitability? Mike, your word, not mine, your word. It was inevitable that those 170 people per team would get exposed to the virus. Let me also remind you, Mike, that everyone that gets exposed to the virus tests positive. They don't need to test again for the rest of the year. That's not my idea. That's not the NFL's idea, Mike. That's the CDC's guideline, the Center for Disease Control. That's their guideline. So all of these people that have already been exposed and test positive, be it before the season or now, they're all good to go the rest of the year. It's what's happened in Major League Baseball. It's why you saw this massive drop-off of positive tests and all the hoopla that you all Chicken Little screamed about when the outbreak happened with the Marlins. Positive tests are expected. Of course, it's going to happen. It's a virus. And if you're testing regularly and often, in essence, searching for positive tests, you're going to find some. Deal with it and move forward. Like every other sport in the world has done. Mike Florio, you doofus, you don't need a hard bubble. You need to bubble the NFL. You tell people to do what they're already doing. Take the necessary precautions. Try to socially distance when you can. Stay away from people that are sick. Limit your exposure. Wash your hands. Cover your sneezes and coughs. All that sort of stuff. Do the best you can. There's going to be some positive tests. But the people in charge, actual leaders, people who get to a yes, people who find solutions, they're going to keep doing that while you sit in your studio at your keyboard crying that the sky is falling, like all the other Chicken Littles. And then when the sun comes out, you all look very stupid, as you have all along. Every sport has returned, Mike. All of them. They just keep on keeping on because leaders lead and they find a way. And wimps like you sit in the corner and cry. The sky is falling. Look at the Marlins. Oh, no, Stephon Gilmore tested positive. Shut it down. What are we going to do? I mean, Stephon Gilmore is going to chill for about a week because he's a healthy young guy who's going to be asymptomatic. Then he'll go play the rest of the year. What? You all right? Wouldn't you just like to backhand some of these people? Not even backhand, like open hand slap some of these people in the face. Wouldn't you love to do that just to snap out of it? Hey, come to your senses. Be a logical thinking adult person. Stop being a doofus. The Marlins! Oh my God! Oh, they have to look at the outbreak! Oh, what are we gonna do? Someone else will play, and then you'll continue the season. What's the problem? It's after further review. Russ Mitchell in 45 minutes to talk about games that are going to happen between teams that are continuing to play with players who at some point or another have had a positive test or will have a positive test. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage, less money, 293-0450, 293-0450, or LAinsurance.net. Remember, Insurance Network of Louisiana, they're open till 5 Central, so another 27 minutes. It is a really good time to call right now before we get into the storm this weekend. Call our friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana. Let them get started to see if they can find you better coverage for less money. AFR listener named John, been with Liberty Mutual since 2007. Increased their auto coverage, added a $1 million umbrella. So in all, increased their coverage by $1.2 million. Saved them $4,600 a year. $1.2 million in additional coverage, saved $4,600 a year. Stop overpaying to be underinsured. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana. It is free to have them shop for you. Free. Free, 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 free. Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450.
At Corbell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a Tundra for $7,000 off MSRP. That's right, $7,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corbell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motors you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, rolling along here. Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, Dine and Carry Out. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Shout out to my former kindergarten teacher, Jeannie Darling, who is a very ardent listener to all of our shows. She did point out that Father Michael Alello, Padre Hooch, as he's known, he's the priest that comes on the show and prays and has done quite well here as our resident prayer expert. Can you be a resident prayer expert, Brain? Do you think that that's appropriate to say resident prayer expert?
I mean, do we want to limit it to that? With the results he has, can we just call him a resident miracle worker?
Okay. I'm good with however we want to phrase it. Anyway, the Right Reverend did, in fact, tweet a picture where he said getting ready for wedding season or running for best dressed priest. So I guess he's modeling clothes there. And you can see his socks. And the socks that he's wearing are not dead socksy. And I'm very displeased about this. So my kindergarten teacher at St. Pius, shout out Miss Darling, shout out St. Pius, said he definitely needs some dead socksy. He's been a guest several times. I have given him dead socksy before, and he's still not wearing it. It's bad form. Is it right of me to call him out? I think so, yeah. Don't you? You have to mind the sponsors. Look, I've got dead socksy on right now. Look, Brain.
No, I was rocking my black and gold yesterday.
I got my black and gold. You want to know why? Black and gold Super Bowl, brother. We got to get all the good mojo and vibes we can get rolling right now. I'm feeling better after the win this week. It's got to be even better. I got my dead socksy on right now, my black and gold. Go get yours at deadsocksy.com. Since Alello is apparently not on board with helping us promote it, not minding the sponsors.
Dare I say that's sacrilegious?
I'm sorry, my headphones unplugged. What did you say?
I'm not repeating it. Is it sacrilegious of him?
I'm sorry, one more time. I think I heard you say sacrilegious.
You did.
Was that a Catholic sock pun?
Very, very much so.
I loved it. I freaking loved it. Can I tell you how much I love a pun? I love puns. I am so punny.
It's not bad. I mean, there have been worse ones.
I legit do love puns. I mean, puns are, I think, a very underused potential comedic device in grammatical circles.
Because they make people groan. Just, ugh.
No. I think I don't groan. I think they're funny. I thought that was funny.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that.
Sacrilegious. Brain, turn off your mic and never speak again. You're fired.
I got Tigers in the Pros next. You know what? I'll shut up for now.
Yeah, stick around then. You can do Tigers in the Pros, and then you're so fired. Hey, I loved this. Jontre Kirkland, if you didn't hear this, Jontre Kirkland spoke to the media yesterday, and if you're ever looking for guys to cheer for, it's so hard to hear this and not love this kid. You have to. So Jontre is in year 4 at LSU, of course, from Lutcher, was a great high school player, hasn't really gotten on the field at LSU. Started as a cornerback, switched to receiver, been buried on the depth chart, was waited his turn, and then he goes and has a 2-touchdown day against Vandy on Saturday. Jontre Kirkland met with the media yesterday, and he talked about what Saturday meant to him, getting out there and having the type of day he did.
With that game, I mean, that was just like a little introduction, I would say, showing what I could do, just giving a little tape on myself. But with that game, that kind of just showed everybody what I could do. So I got to just keep pushing and keep doing, keep on producing. So it's just not like, oh, that's a one-time thing. You know what I'm saying?
He also talked about, and this is the one that I think people are really going to enjoy. He talked about the emotion scoring his first career touchdown.
So I'm going to tell y'all the story that I told all of the coaches, and it gave them chills. And they actually told some of the players in the room, and they gave them chills. So, like, after I scored my first touchdown, it's like I came back to the sideline. I almost cried, but I didn't because you know what I'm saying? I felt like I had more to give. But, like, I actually, like, literally felt all the love just, like, cover me. You know what I'm saying? Just, like, I was just, like, I had to shake it off. Like, you got to finish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just was so joyful and just so proud of myself that I was able to just go out and perform at the level that I performed, just finally getting into the end zone after 4 years of hard work.
So that part of it is obviously very cool. Getting into the end zone after 4 years of hard work, as he said. The other thing, though, is something we have discussed here in the past. And I'll make my point again in a second, but I want you to hear it from Jontre first, who talked about the chemistry he has with Miles Brennan.
Okay, so with me and Miles, we was doing like second team reps and stuff, so we always had plays to where he was throwing me the ball. So like me and Miles, like he always had that chemistry with me, like, always knowing how I'm gonna get in and out of my routes, throwing the ball certain ways, you know what I'm saying? So it's never like that was my first time catching from Miles. So like all these years that I was at receiver, I think it was like maybe a year and a half, 2 years that we was at receiver. So like me and Miles, we had, I feel like we gained a good set of chemistry.
I've mentioned this story before, so for those who've heard it, forgive me, but I'm going to say it again for the benefit of the audience and those who haven't, because it's something that I heard years ago from another Lutcher Bulldog, as a matter of fact. It was a conversation I had with Jarvis Landry, and this had to be 2012 or 2013 when he was emerging with Zach Mettenberger. And we sort of had that conversation with Jarvis, and I remember asking him a similar look. In 2011, remember, Jarvis was a freshman. He kind of got buried a little bit on the depth chart. Odell really broke out as a freshman. But Jarvis had the foot injury in camp, and it delayed him throughout that season. But Jarvis said when they would do receiver drills, he would always make sure when he was in the receiver line that he was catching from Zach. So he would, he'd skip ahead or move back, whatever he had to do to make sure that he was always catching passes from Mettenberger, because he knew Mettenberger was going to be the quarterback whenever he was playing. And so he wanted that timing. He wanted every rep, every bit of chemistry. And I've told that on air because I always find it interesting to see when a guy who's waited his turn to play emerges, what receivers he defers to. Do you remember, we talked about this with Danny Etling, because if you remember, Danny Etling and Russell Gage had great chemistry. And Gage largely came out of nowhere, man. I know he's playing in the NFL now, so it's hard to think back and remember this, but it's true. You know, Russell was like one of his last guys in the class. Was he a DB, a receiver? What was he going to play? Well, Russell Gage and Danny Etling trusted Russell Gage because they had worked together so much that they had chemistry. And after week 1, I made that point about Jaray Jenkins, because Jenkins is a guy who's been working a lot with Brendan for the past couple of years. And lo and behold, so has Jontre Kirkland. And Jontre said it there. Jontre said almost word for word exactly what 8 years ago, Jarvis Landry said about working with Zach Mettenberger. It's always something, a little nugget to tuck away in the back, but it's another reason to believe that guys like Jenkins and guys like Jontre Kirkland are going to continue having success, because if the quarterback knows them, trusts them, has that rapport with them, he's more likely to pull the trigger and throw it at them. Keep an eye on those guys as the season moves along. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging on with us here. We will knock out a quick break, wrap up hour number 2. Russ Mitchell in 30 minutes. Brain will have Tigers in the Pros when we come back. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Ichiban, Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. And if you need dinner plans tonight, Ichiban's always a great option. You can do like Kellyanne Beal did from WVLA and Fox 44. She said, finally tried the Moscona roll at Ichiban with the birthday boy, Matt Smith. Matt Smith, who is a friend as well. Happy birthday to Matt Smith. By the way, Matt, you share a birthday with my grandfather. Happy birthday to my grandfather, who's 88 years old today. So if you need dinner plans, you want to celebrate a birthday, look, they got some champagne there as well. Oh, a little champagne and Moscona roll lunch. I'm about to try that combo. Anyway, Ichiban, Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales, voted by you the best sushi and best hibachi in the Best of 225 awards. If you're celebrating a birthday, if you need a quick lunch, if you want a romantic dinner or entertain a client, or just need a place to grab a quick bite and bring it to the house, make tonight an Ichiban night.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
Foundation failure is common in South Louisiana, and that's why homeowners here turn to a local company they can trust, WCK Foundation Repair.
WCK is the only company that specializes in drilled piers, the ideal solution for Louisiana's unique soil conditions. WCK is locally owned and operated by a group of professionals with years of experience.
Learn more about the signs of foundation failure on WCKFoundationRepair.com. Call for a free estimate. WCK Foundation Repair. Support the home team.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, football fans, T-Bomb here, reminding you that Hooters is your headquarters for football. If you can't get in, they still got the Hooters girls, the TVs, the wings, the beer, everything you love about game day. But what if you're watching at your house, maybe having some people over? You don't feel like cooking? Well, great. Hooters, they have your back. You download the Hooters app, you'll get a free app, and then you go and you pick up the food, you bring it home. Everybody loves you because you got Hooters wings, and game day, it's a match made in heaven. Download the app, get Hooters to go. Hooters, your headquarters for football.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
At Corbell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a RAV4 for $3,000 off MSRP. That's right, $3,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2, and glad that you are hanging around with us. Tweet us at Matt Moscona at 1045ESPN. Jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. If you haven't done that, subscribe. Subscribe to the After Further Review YouTube channel as well. Subscribe and hit the bell. There it is. Anything you miss on the show that we post up there, you can get it. My little bubble rant will be up there in a bit. Did you like the bubble rant? It wasn't really a rant. What'd you think?
The bubble rant?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. Got to be said. Got to be said. Hey, Brain.
See.
Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
In English, please. You know I don't speak Spanish.
What are the odds?
Stop talking like that. I can't understand what you're saying.
I'm not even mad. What are the odds of getting Voice Guy to say kysbesthemp.com with the clap and the cadence and all of that? kysbesthemp.com. kysbesthemp.com. I mean, he's a big voice guy. You think he'd do it?
Yeah.
It's worth the ask.
Now, I have been doing the show for 11 years, and I think he said my name correctly in production one time.
Once. You should get your mom to tweet about it.
That was a Patrick Mahomes reference.
Yes, it was.
His brain called him Pat Mahomes in the break, and I said, hey, no, Pat Mahomes. Because his mom, I believe her name is Randy, tweeted at Louis Riddick, or at Monday Night Football. I was like, hey, tell this announcer to stop calling my son Pat and pull my hair out. And he apologized on the air. And we all learned, Patrick. Now, if they could only get Elair.
Yes. Which I've got to hit that one in just a second because I'm going to get it wrong again. 4 weeks into the NFL season, how's LSU's rookie class stacking up?
They stink.
They do. Joe Burrow was only number 1 among rookie quarterbacks in passing yards.
Stink.
He's got 1,121 so far.
Stinks.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire leading rookie running backs in rushing yards. He's got 304.
Stinks.
Justin Jefferson is, you guessed it,
stinks.
Leading rookie receivers in yards, 348.
Stinks.
Patrick Queen. I'm still not over Patrick Queen's goal line stand or stuff the other day. Just one arm, boom, sit down.
That's good.
Leading all rookies in tackles at 33.
Stinks.
Not a bad little stack up right there.
None of them stink, actually. They're all really good. And I said this after the season, and I maintain it's going to hold up. History is going to be kind to the 2019 Tigers because they're going to have so many guys going to great pro careers. We're going to look back the way we do 0-1 Miami and go, oh my God, and Reed, on and on and on and on. Go ahead, sorry.
No worries.
No.
DJ LeMahieu was 1 for 5 last night. Nope. We'll get to him. 1 for 5 last night. He also drove in a run. Yeah. Austin Nola.
Callahan!
There he is. 1 for 2 last night. Nola also drove in a run.
Big knock got him on the board.
Yeah, it did. Going on right now. We're in the bottom of the sixth. The Astros have a 7-4 lead over the A's, and Alex Bregman
You have a
is
7-4 lead over the A's.
2 for 3 with an RBI. Wait, 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. Does that mean he has a home run?
Good boy, Breggy.
No, he does not have a home run. He has a double, though. And that's Tigers in the Pros.
Brought to you by KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com. Kentucky's best hemp. As a matter of fact, took my CBD gummies last night. Boy, sleep soundly. If you have trouble sleeping at night, Kentucky's best hemp could certainly help with that. If you have inflammation, Kentucky's best hemp. All natural CBD. Have anxiety, Kentucky's best hemp. It can help. Got something for everyone in the family. Even got the doggy bacon. So if your dogs or pets struggle with anxiety, Kentucky's best hemp. Check them out. Use the promo code AFR30, AFR30. Promo code AFR30. Get you 30% off at KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com. So after further review, hour 3, staring you straight in the face, get you caught up on national headlines, and then Russ Mitchell coming up as well. Stick around, AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Blue Bonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. Got a call, honest to goodness, true story, got a call from my cousin, Steven, on Sunday, and he said, hey, how do you like your Atlas? We're thinking about getting one. Told him, love it. All the good stuff. When we travel, plenty of room, third row, folds down, room for the kids, for all the stuff, yada, yada, yada. Then his father-in-law, Richard, called me the next day and said, hey, heard you talk to Steven about the Atlas. Tell me about it. Told him all the same stuff. Well, yesterday, Richard bought an Atlas. And soon, Steven's getting one too. I'm telling you, we're going to be a family of Volkswagen drivers. You can be as well. Go check them out. South Point Volkswagen, airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. The Atlas, the 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. It is redefining the full-size SUV market. All the style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost, and manufactured right here in the USA at their Tennessee plant. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Corbell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a RAV4 for $3,000 off MSRP. That's right, $3,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corbell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but 2 NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into front-to-back boat services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front-to-back boat services.
$11,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. More positive COVID-19 tests around the NFL today. Patriots cornerback Stephon Gilmore tested positive. New England canceled practice today and tomorrow. ESPN's Dan Graziano reports 2 more Titans players have tested positive, bringing their total to 22 players and staffers. ESPN's Diana Rossini reports Raiders defensive lineman Maurice Hurst has tested positive. So will the NFL be able to finish the season? ESPN's Keyshawn Johnson.
You got to just continue to keep testing. As long as the teams don't get wiped out, meaning 10, 15 guys on one team at once, I think they will make it to the end.
Keyshawn Johnson on First Take. Baseball playoffs today. The Braves beat the Marlins 2-0 to take a 2-0 series lead. Dansby Swanson and Travis d'Arnaud with solo home runs. The Astros lead the A's 7-4 in the 7th inning. The Astros can sweep that series with a win today. All baseball playoff games available on ESPN Radio.
Coming up Thursday, the Bears were the finalists for Tommy Boy Brady. Now they have to try to slow down Brady and the Bucks. We get you ready for Week 5 on Keyshawn, J. Will Zubin, Thursday, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the Brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Top Play. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. A lot I want to get to here. Russ Mitchell in 15 minutes. But first, it's a hump day. Hump day. Hey, Brain.
Yes.
You thought I forgot, didn't you?
I did.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You really think I'd forget?
I did.
It's hump day.
Do you think I forgot?
I thought you forgot.
Hump day.
What if I forgot?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And then saw you look at me.
It's hump day.
And then remembered.
Hump day.
Well, then for once I will have done my job.
Or
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
was it just a deke?
It's hump day.
Which do you think?
However you want to play it, man.
It's not what I asked. What do you think?
I think I reminded you.
Hump day.
Nope.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Making sure you were paying attention.
It's hump day.
Russ Mitchell in 15 minutes.
Hump day.
We'll recap last weekend.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We'll preview this weekend.
It's hump day.
It is hump day. All right, let's roll. So a few things I got to get to first before we talk. Ed Ogeron met with the media on the SEC Coaches Teleconference. LSU, Missouri has officially been relocated. They'll play in Columbia. If you missed Robert Munson last hour, make sure you go listen to it. Catch it on the YouTube channel on demand. Filled in a lot of blanks. Apparently, LSU and Missouri discussed playing in Houston, discussed playing in Dallas, discussed playing in Shreveport, but they wanted to keep it at a venue that has SEC protocols already in place, which is why they chose Missouri. The Game was moved from 8 p.m. to 11 a.m., largely because of travel. Brain, can you play this one? This was at Ogeron number 6. Why they decided to play at 11 a.m.?
I do believe that it had been very difficult to play an 8 o'clock game and travel back and come back Sunday morning at 4 o'clock. And it takes 2 days to recover. Talking to our trainers, it takes 2 days to recover. We play an 11 o'clock game. We're going to be back in Baton Rouge around 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I think our team and our coaches will get more rest. I think that was a big advantage for us.
So clearly with Florida next week, LSU didn't want to play an 8 p.m. game on Saturday, get back to Baton Rouge at 4 a.m., 4 a.m., have to take the day all the way off Sunday and Monday as you continue to recover to really start Tuesday getting ready for the Florida game and have to leave again on Friday. It works out better. LSU's they'll be back in Baton Rouge Saturday, early mid-evening. So the game time change, I know, is not ideal for many that want to see a night game, but it's best for the team. So if you want any of that information, you go catch it on demand with our Robert Munson interview. Also, with regard to the Saints, they're going to make a decision tomorrow about when they see the path of the storm, if they feel like they're going to have to move the game to Indianapolis or if they're going to evacuate New Orleans for Indianapolis, whether it be at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Saints have done that before. It's what they did in 2008 pre-Gustav. So that decision about New Orleans will come tomorrow, and the possibility of the Saints playing the Chargers on Monday Night Football in Indianapolis instead of in New Orleans. Again, that's not final. We're waiting on that word, which likely would come. We'll get an indication tomorrow. I'll also tell you, of course, Monday's show is supposed to be at the Sazerac House in New Orleans, a big promotion we're so excited about, talked about so long. Depending on what Hurricane Delta does, that could be in jeopardy also, and we may have to reschedule. So we'll certainly let you know about that. That's very ancillary, obviously, considering this giant storm is coming. But we will keep you up to date with that as we proceed. With respect to New Orleans, the mayor of New Orleans, Mayor Cantrell, has rejected the Saints' request to have 25% capacity for Monday Night Football. Instead, allowing, again, just 750 friends and family members. I think that is a silly, foolish, stubborn decision by the mayor. We clearly have shown as a state that protocols are in place to have large events at 25% capacity. LSU has done it. There's no reason the Saints shouldn't do it. I think this is a major fail on her part. Hopefully she gets over her stubborn politics and decides that she's going to do what's best for the city, the franchise, for everyone, and open up to at least 25% capacity for the next game against Carolina. It is also worth mentioning today that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has opened Florida venues to full capacity. So if the University of Florida next Saturday wants to have a full capacity game against LSU, they can. It's not to say they will, but remember the SEC's guidelines are state and local officials make those determinations about capacity, and in the state of Florida, teams are allowed to go to full capacity if they choose. Miami Hurricanes play Clemson this week, although that's in Clemson, but the Miami Dolphins, who also have a home game, say they will not go to 65,000. They'll keep it at 13,000 for now. No word yet on what the Florida Gators will do, but again, remember, LSU's in Gainesville next week, so Florida can have a capacity crowd at the Swamp next week if they choose. It is also worth noting, and it's not surprising that Florida is the first to move in this direction, to start getting people comfortable and accommodating to the thought of having a capacity stadium. They're the two major sporting events in our country this year. The two major football events, championship events in our country, are both in Florida this year. The College Football Playoff National Championship game is in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. So you better believe they want a capacity crowd at that game. And doing this now in October starts to condition us to think by January that's acceptable. The Super Bowl is at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. So, look, the Saints are also going to Tampa in a month, the beginning of November. That could be a capacity crowd, but clearly they want it to be capacity for the Super Bowl as well, and the governor of Florida has opened up that possibility. So just a couple things to keep in the back of your mind as we progress here, but LSU and the Saints both play in the state of Florida in the coming weeks, and both could be playing in front of capacity visiting crowds, just as a possibility here. All right, it's after further review. Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. We are into October, the month of Halloween, which means blood specials like microneedling with PRP. They call this the vampire facial. It's easy. They take your blood, they put it in the centrifuge, they spin it, they get the PRP, then they put this microneedling pen all over your face. I had it done last year with Terrio. And so it creates little pricks all over your forehead, and it tricks your body into thinking it needs to heal. And then the PRP, the platelet-rich plasma, heals your skin as well. So if you want healthy, beautiful skin, PRP with microneedling is a great way to do it, and it's discounted right now for the month of October at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Blue Bond in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, free testosterone level checks always, theantiagingclinics.com. Ed Ogeron on the SEC Coaches Teleconference today gave an update on his team's preparation this week. Talked a little bit about the opponent, the Missouri Tigers.
Missouri poses a lot of different formations, different offense that we've seen in a while. Some two backs, some two tight ends, boots, waggles, getting out on the edge, misdirection. Good on special teams.
He also talked about Connor Bazelak, Missouri's quarterback, who had been the backup, but is going to start Saturday against LSU in place of Sean Robinson, who had started the first two games.
Yeah, good pocket passer, And, he has 286 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception this season. But I think they're going to use him. He's smart. He can see the field.
It's worth mentioning, Bazelak is more of your traditional pocket passer. Coming out of high school, he was rated, I think, the 13th best pocket passer in the country. Sean Robinson, if you remember from his time at TCU, is a dual-threat quarterback. It makes a little bit of sense if you're Eli Drinkwitz and you look at two game films, what Vandy did and what Mississippi State did. Having the pocket passer spread, throw, try to get over the top might be a better approach. I also think it's going to play out that game against Mississippi State is going to be the great outlier for this team. It was a perfect storm of sorts, and that's not going to be the best way to attack LSU. LSU showed they're vulnerable to the run between the tackles as Vanderbilt ran for 180 yards against LSU. They netted 153, but they had 30 or 40 net yards and loss. But that's where LSU is vulnerable. At least they were against Vanderbilt. We'll see how that changes getting Glenn Logan back. Speaking of getting players back, here's an update on a couple of interior players for LSU on the offensive side, Cardell Thomas and Ed Ingram.
Cordell's out this week. Ed didn't practice yesterday. May come along. He's very questionable right now. Right now we have Charles Turner starting at guard in this place.
So 2 weeks. Started about this yesterday. First 3 weeks of the season, 3 different offensive line combinations. A week ago, Dale Rosenthal was out. Cam Wire started in his place. This week, it looks like Ed Ingram is going to be out, which means Charles Turner starts in his place. So you're getting a lot of different guys reps, and it's valuable reps before you head to Gainesville, but certainly you want to be as healthy and whole as you can a week from Saturday when you're in the swamp. But let's get these young guys some reps on the road this week against Missouri. All right, it's after further review. Speaking of which, when we come back, we'll talk to Russ Mitchell, recap last weekend, preview the weekend ahead. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Carriages in Bocage, carriagesbr.com. Friday is the day, y'all. Friday is the day, the Samuelson made-to-measure event. The Samuelson rep will be on site. Suits, sport coats, special event pricing. This is the day, Friday, in Baton Rouge at Carriages in Bocage, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. this Friday, again, at Carriages in Bocage. If we need to make adjustments because of Hurricane Delta, we'll let you know. But as of now, on as scheduled, this Friday, 10 to 7, you can call ahead to Carriages to reserve your time to meet with the Samuelson rep. But again, remember, if you want suits, sport coats, dress shirts, custom made, this is the once-a-year opportunity. The Samuelson rep is in town. It's the made-to-measure event. They have special event pricing for this day only. Reserve your time. Make a day of it at Carriages in Bocage, where they've been for 30 years, in the courtyard in Bocage Village. Tell them Matt sent you in to Carriages in Bocage.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Craving garden color? Clegg's Nursery is bursting with color, grown fresh in our greenhouses. Colorful bedding plants, incredible edibles, flowering shrubs, and beautiful trees.
Our business is knowing the business of growing. Yard and garden questions are answered here.
Clegg's is a must-do family tradition. Just plant something. It's good for mind, body, and soul. Clegg's Nursery, serving Baton Rouge and Denham Springs. CleggsNursery.com.
Do you know the proper way to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in your office? We do. We're Janney King, a leader in the cleaning industry for over 30 years, and we've developed comprehensive programs to address proper cleaning and disinfection. We have experience in applying disinfecting programs in hospitals, office buildings, schools, and other venues. Now we're ready to help and able to assist customers that need disinfecting services.
Janney King, the king of clean.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I think Russ is going to be a great coach.
Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Russ! Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
If they give you a nickname, you're good.
Rusty, come on up here. I'm getting tired of saying Tigers. There's too many Tigers in the league already.
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
You know, I mean, they're going to run this kid around like a rented step-headed mule.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
I'm a guy who spends all day breaking down Kentucky football.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
And I'm calling you out, man. We'll cut this clip and send it out there to Spurrier and the fellas.
It's like Troy.
Take it, Russ.
All right, let's do it. Russ Mitchell, college football news. How are you?
Kicking the tires, lighting the fires, baby.
Why are you laughing?
Well, because that whole Coach O intro cracks me up.
You know?
That guy. Wouldn't it be great to play for that guy?
Yep. You know, the first time we put the Russ is going to be a great coach, you criticized us.
I know. It's growing on me. Sort of like a redheaded step mule. I don't even remember
a rented step-headed mule is what you said.
Whatever.
You said not redhead. You said rented step-headed mule is what you said.
Yeah, it's like when you see the kid going through his growth spurt, playing whatever sport, his feet are so big he just runs right over himself.
Is that what you did?
It's like, I think, yeah. I think some of the most fun I've ever had as a parent is watching kids when they get to that age, that growth age, and they're trying to play the sport they've been playing for 10 years. But their body's grown faster than their mind can handle. It's like whatever that age group is. It's just the funniest sports ever to watch. I remember watching this one parent, and his kid was just running. There was nobody there. It was just running, and somehow it's like top part of his body got ahead of his bottom part or whatever, and he just did a flip. Like someone took him out, just did a flip, running down the field. That's all he was doing, was running by himself. His dad was like 6'8", standing on the sideline. He's like, "Whose kid is that?"
Was this you?
No, it wasn't me. Although I had my moments, trust me.
Oh man! All right,
my dad's not 6'8". My dad's only 6'1".
No, I'm saying, were you the dad?
Yeah, I had no comment.
Okay, let's recap last week before we look ahead. I'll certainly get your thoughts on the LSU Vanderbilt game, or LSU Missouri game moving to Columbia. We'll get to that in the next segment. LSU Vandy, nice bounce back for the Tigers. What stood out?
If we get that in the next segment, we're not going to have any time left to go over the games because I got a lot I want to say.
All right, start there then. Just go.
No, let's talk about the LSU one first because just the recap. So I've watched the game 3 times now. The third time I just watched the lines. I thought the offensive line played better. You certainly have things going in the right direction at the left tackle spot, and that's good, obviously. I thought the defensive line played a little better too. I don't know, man. I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed.
I'd rather 41-7 over Vanderbilt than 24-21 over Vanderbilt.
Yeah, or a loss. 630 yards of defensive passing. I watched the first half and then recorded the second half and went to watch something else. Saw the final score, so thought to myself, "Oh, okay, LSU blew them out like I expected to." Mm-hmm. And then went back, and I was very unimpressed with the third quarter. I thought Emory did a good job.
Yeah.
And that's really nice to see if you're an LSU fan. Boy, I think if that kid can put all the pieces together, he's going to be a superstar. But, it wasn't until the fourth quarter that you really pulled away. And I know we have to compare it tonight to 2019, which is just ridiculous because it was the greatest season in the history of college football, I think. But, when did you pull away from Vandy last year? What quarter?
It was 28-7 at the end of one.
Yeah. So, basically you pulled away in the first quarter last year, and this quarter you didn't pull away till the fourth.
It's not last year.
And, yeah, I know, but that's my point. I think that you're looking at this conference right now, and I know you're still bathing in the glow, the warm golden glow of 2019, but, it's not even close to what Bama is right now.
So who was more impressive last week, Bama or Georgia?
Oh, that's a good question. You're good at this. You know that?
Thank you.
No one's asked me that yet. I think Bama, boy, they look good. And Mac looks fantastic. He's leading the country in passing efficiency right now.
Hey, Russ.
Yeah.
I could throw balls to receivers that were wide open 7 yards down.
Stop.
No, I'm serious.
I know. This is why their quarterback.
There were 3 plays that changed that game: a 68, a 87, and an 83-yard touchdown passes where receivers got behind A&M corners, and it was, just throw it up and let them run under it.
Best in the country.
Not the best quarterback in the country.
I'm not saying that, by the way. I'm just saying he's doing very well, and the team is doing very well. And that, I thought that Georgia's defense is spectacular. It's the best defense in the country right now. Yeah. Oh, they are good.
Yeah.
They are really filthy. And we'll have some fun in the next segment talking about that Tennessee game. I'm not as sold on their offense. I think Stetson's actually done fairly well. His passing accuracy is good, and it kind of takes me back to the LSU, filthy defense with, a Matt Mock.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you could win a national championship back then in 2003. I don't know. Nowadays, you just have to have an offense to be able to keep up, and I just don't think the offense is anywhere close to where their defense is. Foley.
I was going to do that in the next segment, but you can go if you want.
No.
All
we
right.
won't have any time to do the games.
All right, go.
So, okay, I got to just remind myself that I'm on I'm on the air here.
Yes.
And I can't use the language I would prefer to use.
Terrestrial radio.
Terrestrial radio, thank you. Some of you may recall how strongly I felt back during the Florida hurricane when the athletic director of the Florida Gators, Foley, how he behaved during that hurricane. I really have to. I'm going to put my LSU hat on for a second, actually. Really proud at how the university handles these situations, going back to even, Katrina and Rita, but how they handled things with South Carolina when they were having their flooding and, opening the doors and, and allowing the game to be played at LSU and doing whatever was necessary and how Scott has handled this situation with Missouri. And I know his relationship with their athletic director goes back to Washington but it's like watching adults. You know what I mean? It's like watching adults in a room figuring crap out where you don't have any of this BS and this just clown nonsense that we saw from Foley. And if I'm honest, from the SEC headquarters, Aliva, that was actually Aliva's bright, shining moment, and he bungled that a little too, but still, this, how LSU has handled this should make every alumni proud, because this is how adults, when there's a crisis or even really a potential of a crisis, handle the situation. They get together, they figure out what needs to be done, and they do it. And they do it like this. No bull, you know what.
That's it?
Well, it's terrestrial radio.
Yeah. I thought you were going to, scorch Foley.
Well, I was, actually. And then about 1/3 of the way through, I realized that I was more proud about how LSU has handled this than I was angry at some retired you-know-what clown who really disgraced what had been a fine career at the end. When there's a it's going to take, like Charles, years to get better, and our hearts go out to everybody down there. And, there are people probably from the Baton Rouge floods that are still just now getting themselves back together. And now you have another hurricane coming. I bleed football, but there are many things that are much more important. So hats off to everybody at LSU and Missouri for doing what adults do. Isn't it crazy that we live in a world where you have to congratulate people for being adults?
I know. Or maybe that's actually the norm, which is why what Foley did in 2016 stuck out so much as an outlier.
What kills me about that in particular was how, and again, I think this goes to the whole how tribal we've all become, but how the so much of the country was able to have the wool pulled over their eyes on that whole issue, you know?
Well, the reason, Russ, is because Aliva bungled it. I mean, Aliva in acting publicly like a petulant child made him look like the bad guy when he was in the right, but the way he publicly essentially put Florida in a corner and the SEC in the court said, we're playing 8 home games no matter what. Like, he just refused to budge publicly, and it made him look like a jackass. It made LSU look like the bad guy.
But yes, I agree. And excellent use of the word petulant, by the way. You know, I think that I think Aliva, behind the scenes, the pressure that was being put on him by Foley and some others made him think that if he didn't come out publicly at that point and lay things on the table, he was going to have LSU's arm twisted in that situation. So by coming public, now, and I agree with you, the way he did it probably was not the best way, but that he had to come public in order to not get the powers that be inside of the SEC to twist LSU's arm. I don't think otherwise Foley or that Aliva would have been able to stand up to Florida and Foley in that situation. He had too much power.
Or you protect the brand of the league, and you're rewarded for it down the line. Or you do what Aliva did, and then you continue to have early kick times and bad schedules shoved down your throat.
All I know is this: that was the most. You want to use the word petulant? Actually, you know what? Foley's behavior was so far beyond petulant. It was the most irresponsible behavior that I've ever seen from an adult in, well, I don't know. I suppose Bryle's behavior in Baylor was much worse, but and you know, some others like that. But God, that was just so, especially given what had just happened to Baton Rouge that summer.
Yep.
So again, we'll end it on a positive note. Congratulations to Scott and everybody at Missouri and LSU for basically, and how many? It took like 24 hours, right?
Yeah. They got it done on Tuesday.
24 hours, man. I thought LSU did a great job in that whole South Carolina situation too.
They did.
And I thought that you and I were talking earlier. I thought that remember Arizona State.
Yep.
I'm looking out my window right now at that stadium, the Arizona State Stadium, and they did a great job. They had the end zones were painted. What did it say again? It said something together, and then they had an outline of the LSU State and the Arizona State, and they did it. That was the Doucette catch in the corner of the end zone.
Yes, it was
on 4th down. God, what a game that was!
All right.
Sloppy.
It was Les's first game. It was indicative of what was to come over the next decade plus. Let me grab a break. We're going to run out of time. We need to grab a break, come back so we can preview the weekend. Russ Mitchell, College Football News, is with us. Stay here.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. For River City's 1 Hour Air. I love sharing great testimonials from our audience. How about this review from John B? Said, we belong to the Comfort Club, which isn't cheap. However, we have a rather complicated system. 36-year-old groundwater heat pump with some custom features that requires a knowledgeable technician. JJ has been servicing and maintaining our system for several years, and we've always been satisfied with the speed and quality of his work. Under the Comfort Club, they call me to schedule a tune-up and cleaning twice a year at no charge. When any additional or unexpected repairs have been needed, they always respond promptly. That's John B., who sent his review to River City's 1 Hour Air. I'm in that club as well, and you should be. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 19...
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Okay, rolling along. Russ Mitchell, college football news, is with us. We got to move quickly, man. Let's get through this weekend ahead. Let's get through some previews. The biggest one on the docket has got to be Georgia, Tennessee, right? Is Tennessee for real? Are they ready to compete? What do you think?
Yeah, their offense is +3 so far in turnover margin. Which is good, but I think more importantly, they've only had 9 penalties, and their running game has been pretty good. They've been able to pound the ball pretty well. They ran through Missouri, but it's South Carolina and Missouri, man. And I don't want to take a knock off Tennessee. They're finally looking like Tennessee, but we talked about Georgia in the last segment. Bennett, and I owe an apology to Bennett. He's been terrific, man. 65% of his passes completed. 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks so far. And he can throw the ball downfield. He throws the ball better downfield than Fromm. So, and then, you combine to that a run defense that's allowing 2.3 yards per carry with no touchdowns. And by the way, Tennessee nearly dead last in the conference in converting on third downs. So, that's a bad situation to have coming into this defense. So I like Georgia at home.
The other big one is Florida at A&M. Biggest test so far for Florida, of course, but a massive game for A&M, Russ. I mean, if they start 1-2 and get hammered by Bama, Florida, you keep going back to the same thing with A&M. Like, when is it ever going to be your turn?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and it's not cheap. What are they paying a year right now?
Yeah, it's kind of cheap for them. I mean, they got lots of money. They're fine.
I know they got lots of money, brother, but that's not the issue. You're paying for something, right?
They're fine.
You're not paying to lose 60-10. You're not paying to get embarrassed. And now, I'm surprised this game is an early game, a 12:00 kickoff.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, this is a Texas A&M secondary that's not been very good. Mac Jones, we talked about it, 400-plus yards and 4 touchdowns. And not just that, Vanderbilt, that Frosh, Ken Seals, he connected on 70% of his throws against this A&M secondary. And here comes Kyle Trask. I'm not prepared to call him Burrow yet, but through his first 2 games, he's completing 72% of his throws for nearly 700 yards, 10 touchdowns, and only 1 interception.
Ooh.
That's Burrow-esque.
Don't
Seriously,
do it,
I mean, I'm not being funny.
Don't do it.
That is, am I jinxing him? I got to tell you, that's really, really impressive. And, he's got that great tight end, Kyle Pitts. And I think that there's a very good chance that A&M is going to get embarrassed at home. But the one thing I will say is Jimbo tends to get his teams up, so I don't think they'll be disappointed. But, boy, if they lose ugly at home and show the fan base how much of a deviation there is between the top. Because think about this. The last excellent team they played probably was LSU in 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the final in that game? And it could have been 100.
50-7.
It could have been 100.
Yeah.
Throw the ball. and so basically, throw the ball. Put Brennan in and keep throwing the ball. So basically, if they get blown out by LSU 2019, blown out by Alabama, and then blown out at home by Florida, man, come on.
Bama Ole Miss shouldn't be competitive, but do you think that Ole Miss's offense might be able to expose Alabama's defense?
Secondary, at least. And, I kind of, all these things when your team is up 30-0 and suddenly it's like the secondary. But still, think about how LSU's defense, reacted. I mean, that was running more than secondary, but to the Ole Miss game. And they came back strong at the end of the 2019 season and used that as a rallying cry to have the close that the defense did have. But this is an Alabama secondary that's been pretty shaky.
Mm-hmm.
So, they gave up 335 yards to Mond. I think that there's a chance, Carroll right now, third best in the nation in passing efficiency. And you kind of poo-pooed me when I said Jones was was leading the country in passing efficiency. Corral definitely doesn't have that kind of support around him.
I called him Coral last year at SC Media Days for the entire interview, and then he was getting up from the table to walk away. He said, "Hey, by the way, it's Corral." I said, "Hey, kid, tell people your name. Like, tell people your name. Like, that's fine. Please correct me and tell me what to call you. My name's Moscona. People screwed it up my whole life. Corral. I get it, man. I'll never mess it up again." Okay, before you go, because we're short, just pick a winner, South Carolina, Vandy.
Oh, the 2-0-2 teams. South Carolina, even on the road, they can. I think this game's going to be close, but I like Carolina.
Do you want to laugh at Mississippi State?
Actually, we should do a little laugh and Bo too. congratulations to Odom for actually looking at tape of the offense that this cat has been running for 50 years. And, maybe we should play a rush 3 and drop 8. This is actually, I think, going to be a really interesting game. In fact, I think, dude, Kentucky is desperate. Kentucky,
who cares?
And Kentucky's got a good team.
Who cares?
And they're desperate. They are desperate. And you know what? I like the date. I think Kentucky drops to 0-3.
That doesn't matter. Okay. All right, so Missouri, LSU, from Columbia, Missouri, LSU's first ever trip to the hallowed grounds of Furrow Field. With a big rock M in the end zone.
It's like Boise, man.
I have to go there in 2023. It's the only stadium in the league I haven't been to. I have to go in 2023.
I've been there twice. It's small, man. It's small. Is it the smallest stadium outside of Vandy?
It's always got to be Vandy.
Dude, there's no end zones. Well, I mean, there's an end zone. There's nowhere to sit.
I thought they let people sit on that burn. No, Furrow Field seats 71,000. 71,004.
There's no way they seat 71,000.
Right.
I've seen high school stadiums that are bigger than that stadium. They. By the way, I love all my children the same. Some children just have bigger stadiums than other children. The Missouri.
Davis Wade, by the way, is at 55,082.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Because when I compare those two stadiums together, I've been to Missouri 3 times now. When you go to Stark Vegas, you feel it, man. And I know it's the cowbells, but you feel it. Mm-hmm. You don't get any of that at Missouri. Yeah. None of that. You don't feel any passion or energy. Maybe if they were but 2 of the 3 times I was there, they were winning the East. Anyway, Missouri's offense, they got to start throwing and keep throwing and keep throwing and hope that the cornerbacks for LSU get sick and don't stress, and that Bo Pelini decides to play man defense and not adjust, and several other things. I'm glad this game was moved up, because that way LSU can get on the bus and get home quick.
Russ Mitchell, college football news. He who kicks tires, lights fires, and hates Jeremy Foley's guts.
Oh, I do.
Thanks, man. Have a great rest of your week.
Dude, I wouldn't shake that man's hand if I met him.
If
I ever ran into him, when I run into him again, I will not shake his hand. He won't care, but I'm not shaking his hand.
I'll make sure I'm there to see it. Thank you.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
This is After Further Review. Wrap up next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, Dine In, Carry Out, 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. Today is my grandfather's 88th birthday. My Gramps, my mom's dad. And you know what? I was like, hey, Gramps, I'm going to bring you dinner tonight. So Grammy and Gramps are at my parents' house. And I was like, hey, I'm going to bring you dinner for your birthday tonight. What do you want? You know what he said? Honest to goodness. Pluckers. Pluckers night. You turn 88, brother, you know what you're doing? You're munching on chicken wings and waffle fries and drinking cold beer. You better believe it, brother. That's what we're doing tonight in the Scone household. Feeding my Gramps chicken wings. You're damn right. Let's go. Chicken wings, some beers, and probably make a few Sazeracs to finish off the night. How about that? Get by Pluckers. Nicholson just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine in, carry out. Great place to watch every single playoff, NBA or MLB game and all your football. It's Pluckers if you don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, wrapping up a Hump Day edition of AFR. Let's find out what we're betting on. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Hot Rods Creole. The way to Creole.
Jimmy.
Shop online, hotrodscreole.com.
My bad. Stepped on it. HotRodsCreole.com. Otter joins us. Hey, man, where are you tonight?
Well, I am at Episcopal, Pope John Paul, Mincy, and Playboy Marty are at City Slice Pints and Pizza on Chime Street, just outside the north gates of LSU.
So back-to-back nights with games, huh?
No, Monday. We were here Monday. We're here Monday. But they moved it because of Thursday, just like Catholic High. We've got an abbreviated show.
Yeah.
Catholic High against Edna Carr and Matthew. You spent a lot of time at Catholic High. I spent a lot of time at Edna Carr, and very proud to announce that the new Edna Carr School field will be named after my dad.
That's phenomenal, man. That's great news. Did your
Yeah.
dad go to Carr?
He coached there for years and years.
Wow.
In the junior high program, and then when they turned it over to a high school, his doctor said it was probably his best interest if he wanted to see his kids grow up to get out of coaching. So the old Chinese bandit retired, and
That's
but
cool,
no,
man.
I spent a ton of time at Huntley Drive in Algiers, man, and they've got a beautiful new school and a new stadium, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of hard work for kids from all different areas. Really, man, his old players love him, man. We're very proud of it.
That's awesome, man. Now they're going to take it on the chin tonight by the Bears, but that is an awesome story.
Maybe so.
Hey, I got 60 seconds. What are we betting on tonight?
I hate to say it, but I'm going to go back to against the Yankees tonight. Charlie Morton, who killed the Yankees when he was with the Astros, gets to start tonight, and it's just about value. I mean, if this line was even, it may be the Yankees, but This pitching matchup, Tanaka did not look good in that crazy game that came back to win against Cleveland in Game 2 in that series. So I just like Morton a little bit stronger here. And hey, Tampa Bay's not going to back down. I know the Yankees are strong, but a little bit. Hey, the under hit last night. That's what we like. 22 points less. The Lakers gave up in Game 3 against the Heat last night. So
I'm so glad you went against the Yanks. Fade the Otter. It's a lock.
There you go.
It's a lock. It's a lock of the week. Take the Yankees. La 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 la. Hey man, have a great night. I'm pumped for your family, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, games in South Carolina Saturday. Okay, get ready.
I'll see you, man. Have a good night, all right?
All right, man.
We'll see you. That's Jimmy Ott, Otter Locks, brought to you by Hot Rods Creole, HotRodsCreole.com. HotRodsCreole.com, the new way to Creole. If you've not tried Hot Rods yet, it's in more than 80 stores around the Southeast. Go to the website, HotRodsCreole.com, to see what locations near you or order online at HotRodsCreole.com. Just get one of their boxes. Trust me, get the starter kit of the Big Daddy box. It's one of everything. Promo code AFR for free shipping. Promo code AFR for free shipping at HotRodsCreole.com. Brain, what did you learn today?
Russ Mitchell would not shake Jeremy Foley's hand.
Fact. Paulie, what did you learn today?
Joe Burrow uses the word y'all.
He does.
Matt, what'd you learn?
That LSU almost played this game in Houston, Dallas, or Shreveport. See you tomorrow.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. That's what you get at Shawbills. When we talk about name brand tires at wholesale prices, we're talking about the best tires on the road. For example, Bridgestone tires right now, the official tire of the New Orleans Saints, you can get up to $100 off when the Saints come rolling in. It's $70 with the purchase of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and $30 off when you use your Shawbills credit card. I'm telling you, they find ways to get you the best tires on the road for the cheapest price possible. That's Shawbills. That's what they've been doing for 50 years. They sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they keep you coming back year after year after year because they treat you like family. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.